friends, and thanks for joining us again for another edition of One Flavor, 5 Ways with LorAnn Oils. Today we're coming at you with a cinnamon flavored recipe, and we've decided two things. People are busy, and sometimes baking's just a little overrated. So today we're doing a no-bake recipe. There's no pans, no boiling points, no kitchen timers, unless you want to just set one to race yourself for a very strange competitive sport, but you don't have to do that. These are cinnamon swirl cream cheese mints. They're creamy little homemade candies. They're super easy to make. I think there's only 5 ingredients total. So this is something that you can make right before the party. You don't have to bake them again. So they're super simple and really easy. Save you a lot of time. So you'll only be maybe 1 hour late to the party instead of your usual 2. So let's break down the ingredients. You're going to need 3 cups of confectioner's sugar, which is just a fancy word for powdered sugar. Going to need 3 ounces of cream cheese, and you want that to be softened, so you can set that out ahead of time, or you can put it in the microwave for a little bit before you start your recipe. I have a little bit of extra powdered sugar here just so I can powder my workspace before I start working with my dough. I also have some granulated sugar. I'm gonna roll my mints in there just for a tasty little coating. I have some red gel food coloring from LorAnn Oils. It's gonna give it that cute pink color. And then for the secret sauce, I have LorAnn Oils Super Strength Cinnamon Flavor. It's super delicious, has that great smell, a little bit of heat to it. It's really what makes these mints so great. So let's get started mixing everything together. I'm gonna start with my softened cream cheese. And we're gonna put that right into our mixer over here. We just wanna get that nice and fluffy. Shouldn't take too long, just do that on medium. Okay, that's looking really good. There's not much cream cheese in there, so it didn't take long. So now I'm going to start adding my powdered sugar just a little bit at a time. Turn this back on. It's a little messy. Yeah, that's okay. Adding that in. Great. You want to get that to a nice smooth point. It should look like pastry dough when you're done mixing. And next we're going to add our LorAnn Oils Super Strength Cinnamon Flavor, just about 4 drops. You don't need much. It's very strong, very potent, which is great. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's all you need to give you that little bit of kick of cinnamon. And we're going to mix that in. All right, our mix looks really good. So now we want to turn this into a nice little easy to work with ball. So I'm going to change to my dough hooks here. Pop these out real quick. There we go. All right, I'm going to turn that back on and just get this into a nice little workable ball. All right, that is looking good. And you could have done this a little bit earlier if it was just a little bit hard to work with or just not mixing up quite right, but just to get this nice little ball of dough. And you could also kind of use your hands to kind of work it a little bit as well, but voila, that's where we've ended up. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut this ball of dough in half, and I'm going to add food coloring to 1/2, and that'll give us our cute little pink and white swirl. So I'm going to grab my little chopper here, chop this directly in half. I'm going to set this half aside, and you should probably put the half that you're not using at the moment in a little bit of plastic wrap just so it doesn't get dried out. Sometimes it can get a little hard, and then it'll start to get a little bit difficult to work with. So I'm going to set this aside. We'll put it in some plastic wrap. All right, now I'm going to put my other half back into the mixer, and we're going to add a little bit of red food coloring to get that pink color, which is so super cute. This is, again, LorAnn Oil's gel food coloring. It's very potent. You're going to want to be very careful with this. The good thing is it works incredibly well. We're probably only going to need about 1 drop to get the color we want. So I'm going to use my little dropper here. Get a little bit in there. And very carefully add my 1 drop. I like to start with very little because you can always add more. Remember that, always add more. I'm just going to set that there. And we're going to turn this on and get that nice and pink. It's nice, it does the work for you. Okay, the color in here is looking really, really nice. So I'm going to lift up my mixer and get my dough out here. It's, you know, the dough hook's kind of crumbled it up a bit. I'm just gonna work it back into a nice little dough ball. So I'm gonna get all this together and look at that nice pink color. It's so cute. It's gonna look so nice mixed with that white once we twist it all up. Super refreshing cinnamon flavor. It smells so good. All right, so I've got all my little crumbles together. Don't wanna waste a single bit. Okay, so now we have our little pink ball of dough. We have our little white ball of dough. We put it in some plastic wrap so it wouldn't dry out. I'm gonna get that back out. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna cut my dough balls into thirds, but before I do that, I wanna get my workspace ready. So I'm gonna make a little room, and I'm going to coat it in some powdered sugar, just so that my dough doesn't stick to my countertop here. If you have a mixer like mine, maybe it's already coated with powdered sugar. We just need a little bit more here so that we aren't sticking to the countertop. So, I'm gonna set my ball of dough right there. I'm gonna cut this into thirds. And I think the easiest way to do this is to make a little peace sign. So I kind of cut here. You can turn it, kind of cut here. Whoop. Looks like a little wheel of cheese, and I cut here. And today I'm just gonna show you basically with one of these thirds of each color how to do these little mints. So I'm gonna set these 2 aside. I'm gonna do the same with my little pink ball of dough here. Take my little chopper, again I'm gonna cut into thirds, make my little peace sign. Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna take this one, I'm gonna set these 2 aside, and now I have 2 little thirds that are gonna play well together. So the next step now is to kind of roll these into a little bit of a rope. In Play-Doh terms, we call this a snake. It's very simple. And kind of start in your hands like I just did. And then kind of roll it out a little bit, and as you do that, kind of push down and kind of pull out so that you're making a nice little rope or a little snake. You don't want it to get too thin because you don't want them to break too easily, but you just want to get it long enough, maybe about 1 foot or so. So that's getting pretty close there. That's feeling pretty good. I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to do the same with my white third here. I'm going to start in my hands. And then we're gonna keep working with it on the counter. Again, just kind of pushing down, pulling on the sides. Where it starts to get thin, try to even it out a bit. You might need to do a little pinching, kind of rolling on some ends like that. No real wrong way to do it. But again, you want them to be about even length and width if you can. Those are looking pretty good together. So now the next step is to kind of twist these. You want to get a nice little pinch on the end. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to kind of get these flattened to my space so that they stay in one spot. I'm going to pick up each of these little twists, and I'm just going to carefully kind of twist my 2 ropes together. Take it nice and slow. There's no land speed record here. I'm just trying to get a nice tight twist. Nice and easy. And this again is going to give you that cute color swirl that you're going to get in your mints when they're all finished. If you get a little breakage in your dough, that's okay. Just kind of push it together. These are looking really nice. Nice even little twist. Oops, I'm getting a little break in my dough there. That's okay. We're just going to pinch and mold until we have a nice finished little twisted rope of dough. All right, perfect. So now we're gonna chop this little baby up here. I'm gonna take my twist. I'm just gonna turn it a little bit. I'm gonna make myself some room here. And I'm gonna get my little chopper tool again, and I'm just gonna cut these into about 1/2 inch pieces. So I'm just gonna kind of go along, chop, chop, chop. It's the fun part. Just little bits, about mint size, you know, that would make sense. Cool, all right. So now you're actually gonna take each of these and kind of roll them up in your hands a little bit. That's where this little swirl comes from that you get in that finished mint. It looks really nice. Sometimes you kind of have to pinch it to shape it a little bit, but it looks really nice. Kind of see that little swirl there. You get both colors in there. Super cute. While I'm waiting to coat these in my sugar, I'm gonna do a few more of these for you, but I don't want it to stick to my countertop, so I'm just gonna set it right there on some parchment paper. Start down on this end. And again, I'm just gonna roll into a ball, kind of pinch it up a little bit. We'll just get a few of these going for you. We don't have to do the whole roll. You get it, you're smart. You're on Facebook, you're hip, you're with it. Just get these rolled into nice little swirls. They smell so good. That cinnamon is so great. All right, maybe we'll roll one more for you here. Lucky number 5. And again, just look at that nice little swirl, beautiful colors, super cute, love it. Smells great, tastes great, awesome. So now we're gonna take our mints, and I like to do this a few at a time, make quick work of it, and I just kind of toss it in my granulated sugar, kind of roll it around a bit, kind of push them in a little to the sugar a little bit, make sure they're getting a nice crunchy, sweet coating. Perfect. Those look great. And just kind of take them out one at a time and drop them back on our parchment paper here. Beautiful. Get a little sugary hands, it's okay, no big deal. Clear a little room again. And then finally I'm going to show you how to make this nice little shape that you get with a fork. It's super simple. I just kind of take one of my fork here, I take one of my mints, and I just kind of push down, not super hard, very gently. And you get that nice little shape there. It just makes it look a little more finished. Super cute. Kind of hold that up so you can see it there. Just give it some nice little shape, nice little pattern. I'm gonna do that for each of these. Love that color, love the flavor. All right, so just gently push with that fork again, and you're just gonna get that nice little finish on top. And I'll kind of pick one up here and show you that finished product. Super nice, again, you get that color swirl in there. Really, really cute little treat to take to the party. Once you finish this step, all you have to do is put it onto a plate or a cookie sheet. You're gonna wanna let these dry for about an hour, maybe a little more. That way they'll firm up a bit, give you that nice minty melt in your mouth texture. And that's it, really super simple. Cinnamon swirl, cream cheese mints, 5 ingredients, no baking. It's an absolute breeze. And have a great February and happy baking.